42,000 people die of unsafe drinking water and unhygienic living conditions.
Communities located near high traffic roads expose their public to a greater risk of cancer or decreased lung function due to higher levels of air pollution.
Citizens in the U.S. are drinking an average of 200 water bottles per year. 17 million barrels of oil are being used to manufacture these water bottles, and even 86% of these water bottles aren't even being recycled.
Air pollution is an upcoming threat to the United States. It affects everyday people across the nation. If we do not give air pollution enough attention now, it can grow exponentially.
From these facts, we believe that progress on the protection of air, health, water, and fossil fuels through legislative support can increase the sustainability of natural resources and life.
The reason why things aren't being done now is because Congress is attempting to delay legislation that will protect air, health, water, and fossil fuels without legislative support.
Congress fails to address and change issues that are severely harming the environment. The United States government is putting other matters ahead of protecting natural resources. While other concerns are important to our nation, the environment is slowly dying. In the past 20 years, there's little to no action that Congress has done to reform pressing environmental issues. Although there have been a number of judicial verdicts, they have altered present acts by perceiving them in a way that undermine the legislation's motive. Modern-day environmental issues can be recognized as outdated due to the readily available tools that are set out to aid in changing these problems. Laws that may seem archaic include the Clean Water Act. This law enforces the regulation of pollutants in water sources that flow through our nation and the condition of our water consumed. Some may argue that Congress needs to focus on important matters other than the environment. They must fund programs and projects that will help our nation now instead of looking into the future. However, if Congress focuses on passing laws that address issues concerning the environment now, it would allow our nation's natural resources to be preserved and more abundant in the future.
Congress is not making the effort to protect natural sources in our nation. Groups such as the Natural Resource Defense Council, also known as the NRDC, who serve to defend wildlife and establish an environment of healthy living, are not receiving the funding they need to be successful in the task they set out for. House Republican leaders push anti-environmental budget riders that negate federal spending towards associations that push for environmental progress. Anti-environmental riders attempt to delay the protection of air, water, and health by accruing irrelevant financial placement. If they achieve their goals, generations of environmental advancements would be lost. By equally distributing the tax money that government receives towards nonprofit organizations such as the NRDC, the United States citizens will be looking at a brighter and cleaner future. Congress needs to take environmental issues into account and increase the financial backing these groups need.
Protection of the environment is becoming less of an issue in today's society. The main reason is because the public does not know how important it is to protect the environment and how to be effective with their use of natural resources.
I think they need to know in general sort of the magnitude of it and what the health effects are or what the consequences of it are to them as individuals and to us as individuals.
The public needs to be educated on this important issue so they can help contribute and make the environment better. They need to know the right ethics on the most efficient way to use machinery and the way to pollute the environment the least.
I think there's blame to be put on politicians and news media for not making it a priority to get that information out to individuals in the public.
There are many types of renewable energy such as solar thermal, photovoltaic cells, wind, geothermal, and tidal energy.
Cleanest one that there is wind.
Wind turbines are becoming cheaper due to mass production and technological advances, and once running, there are little to no maintenance costs.
Everything's using batteries, everything's going to be backed up with batteries. Batteries are still really dirty.
Metals found in batteries can be burned and they end up polluting the air. When put into landfills, they expose our ecosystem to harmful and heavy metals.
A non-renewable source that's still viable, that still should be the answer, is actually nuclear fission.
Nuclear fission is a reliable source of cheap energy that is known to be more environmentally friendly than other resources of energy.
And we have not actually built a nuclear power plant in 50 some years. So we're talking about 60-year-old technology. The new types of technology, the new ones out there are a lot better, a lot more efficient, no waste or minimal waste.
If our nation follows these proposals, we could achieve being energy independent by 2040.
Here's the consumption versus production graph, Mr. Szyminski, that you were just talking about.
In the period from around 1980 to now, energy demand was actually rising fairly sharply, but production was fairly flat. Now we've almost reversed those trends. Energy demand is still going up, but not at the high rate that it was in the historic period. But now production is rising at a fairly significant gain. So we've actually, over the last few years, have seen an inflection point in this data.
If Congress manages to amend their approach on legislation, funding, and public education by enforcing the protection of air, health, water, and fossil fuels, environmental progress can be made and natural resources will be preserved for our nation's future.